Hey guys, it's Baron J67 with LV1 Gaming, and I'm sitting here with the absolute legendary Troll Gaming Live out here representing the mighty TRUNRD.com. Shout out to you, Julian. We
Shout out to
really wish you
Julian.
were here. But no, dude. So this is the final day. It's bright and early. We were some of the first people here at Summer Games Fest 2025. It's 2025, right?
Yeah, it's 2025.
And we were the first ones in, man. Bright and early, hanging out with security, chopping it up, kicking down doors. I do got to acknowledge what's going on. We're not going to do politics. I don't want to get this striked or anything like that, but it's very real outside of the compound. I mean, there was some definite security check changes on the way in to ensure our safety here at the showcase. They're taking new steps to make sure everybody's on the up and up, and who's supposed to be here is supposed to be here, which was very interesting.
Exactly. And a big thank you to the staff and everybody in charge of that, doing the best, make sure that we're safe. It's been, on certain times, some people are in hotels that are close by, some of the stuff going on. And so, it's really nice to know that they're really trying to take care of us and make sure that, we're going to have a great event and, this is a safe campus for everyone.
But what I got to say ultimately, and I know Fame is going to, I know I'm not supposed to do this, especially as a communications director and co-owner of Level 1 Gaming, but power to the people. Power to the people. I'll just leave it at that. Power to the people. But to the gaming. So we had a crap ton of showcases yesterday.
Yes, we did.
Only thing I was able to watch, and shout out to Ben Kenobi and all that crew, Sean, and all of those folks over at the Xbox Community Fan Fest, and shout out to Jay Ronald, shout out to Aaron Greenberg, the Xbox team, for being there to put in the stamp to make it, even though it was not officially an Xbox event.
Yep.
Shout out to them for being there to put that stamp First off, we didn't need them to verify it was a community event, but by them being there, it definitely helped acknowledge the legitimacy of the love within that space. I've only seen the Xbox showcase, and then I got a chance to go to the Kojima Death Stranding 2 game premiere. What did you get to check out?
I got to see the Xbox showcase. I watched the Outer Worlds 2 direct.
Ooh, okay.
I got to see that.
But
that was cool. And then the PC game show, I seen a couple of games. I was jumping in between meetings. I seen a couple of games, but it looked promising.
You know what? Let's talk about the big one, Xbox showcase. So this kind of leans into. I was talking to somebody from Xbox, and what's actually so dope is they have so many IPs that when certain games showed up, everybody was yelling out different things, and they all stood a chance to be real. Like the Resonance game, that off rip, when I first seen it, the lighting, and then the Gladiator Arena, my very first thought, I was like, oh, we're getting Rise Son of Rome 2. And what was crazy was everybody started yelling it and getting hype. And Aaron Greenberg was in the room we were all watching at the community event. He was in the room. He put his hand up. He's like, no. And everybody was in there, Rise Son of Rome 2. And then when they started, the Gladiator guy walked out. I was like, it's Rise Son of Rome 2. Like, that's what we're getting. And then it, of course, ended up being Resonance, which was a Plague Tale story, which is not a bad thing. It's just, it's funny that's legit. Like, that was a legit guess. You were not off for guessing.
You weren't.
Like Rise Son of Rome 2. But then also we got a chance to see, but then the big one that threw off a lot of folks was, for me, and a lot of people online agreed with me, was the Call of Duty announcement. So when that first happened, when you see the character walked out the white room, the robots, the pixelated AI, the AI feel, I was like, oh, this is Quantum Break 2.
I screamed Quantum Break 2.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Quantum Break 2 is happening.
It's happening.
I was like, it's officially, it's going down. Like, we're doing it. It's Quantum Break 2. And then when the butterfly came in, the red butterfly, I was like, oh, it's Control 2. And I pivoted immediately. But then when the butterfly went into the glass and the glass broke, and then we seen the voice actor, shout out to Peter from Heroes. Heroes was my show, by the way, especially that first season, down with Siler. But no, so I immediately, when the glass broke, I was like, oh, Quantum Break 2. And then the world started flipping around, and then I was like, oh, Control 2. And then it just kept doing all these things. And then for it to be Call of Duty, it was not bad, but it was like
shocking.
It was like, oh, it was a gut punch in a. How do you get a gut punch in a good way? It definitely dulled it. That was the only thing that felt, and I guess I don't know if it was because, not because I'm tired of Call of Duty, but what they showed got me so excited and got my taste buds ready for so many other things. And then for it to land on Call of Duty is not necessarily a bad thing, but it definitely fell short from what was in my mind.
Well, for me, it was more like they've gone so far from the futuristic parts of Call of Duty for so long that like you would never even think of it. I mean, a lot of people have always talked about how like, you know, they don't want the jetpacks, they didn't like all the future. So for them to go back to that, I mean, you know, I'm excited to see like why.
Pivot. Yeah, and then I wonder what's that going to do to Warzone. Like I wonder. I wonder, is this a push to be closer to the zaniness of Fortnite? Like this will be a way to justify that Fortnite zaniness, the high jumps, and because we already got the, you already got the different abilities and whatnot, not abilities, but the different like utilities and whatnot. So I wonder what's that next step. Like, are we going to get crazy grappling hooks? Are we going to get jetpacks? Are we going to get being able to sit on the side of a building and shoot with your sidearm, like scale down? I wonder if that's going to be their avenue to add in to lore and story wise, add in those mechanics that are missing from Warzone.
Especially with all these guest characters being in Call of Duty now.
You see what I'm saying? That's the next natural step. I didn't even think of that. That's
they've had the boys, they had WWE, they've had Snoop Dogg and 21 Savage. So like
that, I wouldn't be shocked. This may be their way to pull off going full all in and really expanding Warzone. And it would fit.
That's what I'm saying.
It would fit. Especially with that. But so what was the Xbox game that stood out to you the most?
Oh, for me, easily Grounded 2. Grounded 2. I played Grounded from the very beginning when it was just an Xbox preview game. And I paid, I believe it was $30 at the time, and I loved it. I think it was like 10 hours or so for the story, 15 hours.
You get your Mentat mallet.
It was and it was just like, oh, it's a Bug's Life, easy. You know, I'm a kid at heart. I'm gonna just go in and to see like what the dev team has done. And then, you know, as I mentioned in our previous recap, I love new IPs. I love new stories. I want to get invested into more games like this. And so for them to be able to get a sequel, that just goes to show how much they've built from the first game. And I'm just excited to see what's coming next.
For me, it was Mudang. Because at first I thought it was Splinter Cell.
I feel like this was intentional. Xbox,
no, they were teasing us. They were definitely teasing us, and they knew it. Like especially towards the end when they were going back and forth between the characters, and he started raising his head up when he called his name. I was like, dude, this is Splinter Cell. I was waiting for it to, like I was waiting for it, and it didn't happen. And it's so weird to be so, I don't want to use a vulgar term, but led on by a company with their major showcase, and to do it with so many titles.
So many.
So the Everwild, the Game Freak game. So I thought that was Everwild. You legitimately see a monster step and plants are growing out of it. And I was like, oh, dude, we're finally getting Everwild. And then all of a sudden you see the Game Freak logo, and I was like, what planet are we on? Like, and it was they were doing that lewd word to us the whole like the whole time, man. And it was so, I've never seen a company lean, and I pray it was on purpose, because if it wasn't, that is one of the weirdest happy accidents I've ever seen. And it further goes into, they truly have that many IPs that they could have, all of those games could have been true. The only one that would have been, it was the Splinter Cell. But outside of that, all of those things were possible. Everwild was possible.
Quantum Break 2
was possible. Even though we know Remedy, but no, because you got the Firebreak stuff. So Control 2 was possible. Like it was, all of these things were highly possible. like highly probable. It was not a far off guess in the way they presented it, and that's I hope it was on purpose, because if it was not, that's one of the weirdest happy accidents I've ever experienced. They were all the way messing with us the whole time.
I have a question for you.
Talk to me.
So we saw the Xbox RG Ally.
Yes.
Now I was having this conversation with someone. I was waiting to have a conversation with you.
Yes.
With all this Windows Xbox integration going on,
you did see the Steam in the presentation.
I just feel like this is their way to conquer, or at least put a step in the international market.
1,000,000%.
You know, like
the Xbox, yeah, go ahead.
Having Xbox on like your smart TV. I mean, I just started using the Xbox app on my TV just to play my Game Pass games. And I'm like, everyone for the longest time, I said, well, Xbox, you know, does one in the US, you know, and not outside the US. Well, I feel like with all these Windows integration and it just jumping at people, I just feel like it's only a matter of time before they start conquering some of these other markets. And I'm curious to see how this goes with like the South American and the other third world countries where the internet connection isn't as strong.
So I was going to say, I did hear, you know, through different conversations and talking with folks, that a big push for the remote play and the mobile and the app and everything has been to get in Africa, South America. That was like a lot of the core reason, not the official, I'm whistling, official story, but that was something that was discussed behind the scenes, and it absolutely makes sense. Because it's a big place. The world is a huge place, as we're learning, and it is. Why not? Why not? You know, the more people who can play it, and the more people who can experience these games, the less time we have to wait in lobbies, the more people we get to maybe games live longer now.
Yep.
There's just so many different reasons for why this is an awesome thing. But I do believe this handheld will further push the whole "this is an Xbox" agenda, and I'm all for it. I'm still, you know, tinfoil hat, pie in the sky. I'm waiting for that day where we get a limited version of Game Pass on Switch, and a limited version of Game Pass on PlayStation.
It's coming.
It's on its way.
It's coming.
And it of course it'll be a curated limited version,
of course.
But I believe that once again this is tinfoil hat, pie in the sky. But I really believe that's something that's within the next 5 to 10 years for sure. Especially with seeing how long this generation is going. And I feel like with the fact that Xbox One and PlayStation 4 are still being supported with titles, like during the showcase, there was a lot of PS4, like you know, and that was another positive that they just got out of the way. Like, yes, it's on PlayStation, move on.
Exactly.
Like they were like, it's on PlayStation, move on. It's on PlayStation, move on. I just keep. For me, when it comes to Xbox, keep leaning into Game Pass. I've been a Game Pass supporter since day one.
Since the beta for Game Pass.
Yeah, I was like, just keep it going. Keep that value.
I believe it was called xCloud then.
Yeah, like just keep the value there. That's the only showcase I saw because I've just been running around busy, running like a chicken with my head cut off. Did you see any other showcases?
I saw the Outer Worlds 2 Direct. It was pretty cool. They redid the whole combat system from scratch. Yeah, it's a lot more fluid. And instead of, you know, you get a sequel and like, you know, they just add a couple new features. They said, no, we actually scaled back a little bit and made things a little bit more simpler and to make people really enjoy the story and the combat and making sure everything is more refined instead of going in and adding a whole bunch of new features and stuff.
Okay.
Really focusing on the basics. And like, you guys need to watch it if you haven't watched it already. Outer Worlds 2 is going to be crazy. It's going to be one of them games that, you know, it's probably going to get overshadowed by whatever is coming out at the time, and then everyone's going to pick on it and be like, I need to play this, and they're going to end up having 500 hours on it.
Dude, this is did you see how many games are coming out in like October?
Bro.
Like I keep waiting. You know, I'm so used to getting a lull year. Like this what was it? This like 2018 to 2019.
Exactly.
Like that 2019 year after that, you had the God of War, you had Spider-Man, you had like, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, it wasn't horrible, but it just, you know, usually you get a couple valleys. It's been all peak. Like
for the past 3 years.
Yeah. And it's, you know, I'm and then it seems like Xbox is really hitting that stride.
Yep.
And we're getting all those releases, and we still haven't heard anything from State of Decay. We didn't hear anything from Fable. We didn't hear anything about Contraband. There's a lot we didn't hear about. And Elder Scrolls 6. There's a lot we've heard nothing about, and it was still more than enough.
Way more than enough.
Yeah, I'm excited for that Mudang, man. But Clockwork Revolution. It gave me the feel of BioShock mixed with Outer Worlds, mixed with it had that feel of so much, and then that story, it gave like Pleaky blunders, like blinder. I'm butchering it. The Peaky show. You know what I'm talking about? No, I didn't expect it to be as visceral.
See, when I saw it, I thought it would be like some mystery, some type of mystery. Kind of like the other murder mystery game that we saw. And then I was just like, oh,
this was visceral, and I love that. Like when I think of Kick-Ass, so it looks cartoony, it looks cheesy, but somebody's getting their head cut off, that was such a dope feel. And I wasn't too excited for it. Oh, Dishonored. There you go. That was the other game. Yeah, Dishonored. I wasn't too excited for it because I'm like, dude, we're getting Outer Worlds 2. We're getting in my head, I'm like, I don't need it. But to see all of that, I was like, oh, I now want to play it. Yeah. Like I went from, oh, this is cool, I'm glad they're gonna have it.
Exactly.
To now I need to play it. And
those are those things, right? You see, you get the cartoony look, and then you get that violence. And just like I said in the other recap, I like when we get these new IPs that give us a meaning, give us, a little bit of a difference, a little bit of an edge.
Yes.
This game stood out. I mean, I think they had like 5 minutes. They had a really long trailer.
Did you see the way the camera was moving while they were communicating? Yes. I thought that was so badass. And then it felt, what it felt like? A Guy Ritchie movie.
Yes.
That's what it felt like. It felt like a Guy Ritchie movie. And I absolutely love Guy Ritchie movies. So I was like, oh, this is perfection. I'm down. And if you can give me a Guy Ritchie movie feel in a video game,
sign me up.
Sign me up.
And I believe that's a Game Pass Day 1 title too.
Yep. And I'm super hyped for that, man. Once again, dude, Game Pass is the shining light right now, especially in this economy. Not to do the whole political thing, but if I was a kid these days, it'd have been so easy to convince my parents to give me a year of Game Pass.
Exactly.
That'd have been such an easy sell. And then every Christmas is just, here's another year of Game Pass.
Exactly.
That's I wouldn't even have to, that'd be easy. I remember I used to be sitting there trying to figure out ways, make sure my report card was right to get one game. Yeah, and now you're telling me for the price of 3 games, well, nowadays the price of 2 games, I can get a year of Game Pass. Now, that was one of the negatives, but now it's not really a negative because they did announce it and they did say it, but Outer Worlds 2 is priced at $80. That's the sacrificial lamb. But that is, I don't like it. I've always said it on any podcast with Level 1. Anywhere I've been, I'm sorry, I'm never for price hikes, especially when it's not like the buyer pool is stagnant.
Yep.
It's not like the player base is stagnant. I'm not, so that's not the reason you can justify it to me. That's not a solid enough justification. So price hikes when it comes to the games, I'm not okay with. That's just me. Any final thoughts? Because we definitely are eating up time, and I only got so many minutes. I got to clear up some stuff on my phone.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's next in this new console war. I mean, Asus teaming up with Xbox, so this ROG Ally. We got the Lenovo Legion.
Yeah,
we still got our
Claw. You got the MSI Claw.
We got the MSI Claw. And we got the Logitech. They still got their handheld, right?
And then you got the Switch 2, which oddly enough, I think the Switch 2 has the biggest screen out of the bunch.
It does.
Next to the Claw. I think the Claw has a similar...
PlayStation Portal.
Yeah, the Portal.
So,
oh God, are we in the handheld?
It's a handheld war.
Handheld war.
So I went to see that bloodbath.
Yeah. Now it's gonna be who's got the better operating system. You know what? This has been awesome. I want to take this time to say thank you so much to Jeff Keighley. I want to say this has been just an amazing experience. Getting to experience all 3 days, getting to go to the Kojima event.
Yes.
I'll talk about that for a second. It was so fun to see Kojima be full Kojima. Like, he was definitely up there being his quirky self. You had Troy Baker, you had Shiloh. I'm always butchering her name. You had the one who's playing Rainey. You had Elle Fanning, who's playing tomorrow. She wasn't able to be there. She sent in a couple of videos. Then you had Woodkid, and then they announced a pre-order for a collector's edition of the vinyl,
which I'm getting
for the album. I'm gonna buy it. It was like $60-something. Father's Day is around the corner. Wife, I love you. That's what I want for Father's Day. And I'm truly looking forward to that one. That's actually gonna be super dope. Death Stranding gameplay. There's going to be global events. There's going to be there was a 4.0 earthquake and an 7.0 earthquake in the game, and it changed the environment to where you couldn't progress. And then there was also I'm trying to talk about stuff that's nothing in there was embargoed. Then there was they were talking about there's forest fires. There's the combat has been rehauled. Like it had that Metal Gear Solid feel in terms of combat. It was super cool. It was a super dope experience watching them just gush over their game. I'm looking forward to see a documentary around them making it.
I love to see the behind the scenes.
Yeah, they showed that. They showed behind the scenes stuff with Kojima and Woodkid and Elle Fanning singing and making this music, and how music is an important part of the game.
They did say that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, where depending on what you're doing and how you're doing it, the track is going to adjust. So when they were going down the mountain and he was climbing, Norman Reedus was climbing the peaks, the music was more bassy. And then as he was walking in the valley, it's the same track. But then he was elevating the strings and the chords and the keys as he was walking in the valley. But it's the same song, and it was just vibing and moving. Like music, they actually led in with the music first. That's what they were talking about, how the music was the key point. And then Higgs is going to be singing a lot. Troy Baker said it's going to be a lot of songs with Higgs. So I'm looking forward to that. We're in our final minutes. Let folks know, Troll, where people can follow you.
You can find me on everything, Troll Gaming Live. I'll be live on Twitch. I'm going to be posting some reviews on TRUNRD.com, so make sure you check it out. And pleasure as always, Baron.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? It's been 3 days of this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's great. This is probably the longest we've spent together and just doing stuff, tackling these meetings together. And it's been an awesome time.
Man, we've been having so much fun, dude. It's so many dope games. Summer Game Fest has been amazing. Mention some unembargoed stuff real quick, games that just stood out like for you, like rapid fire.
Lego Party.
Yes.
I won a trophy. You know, I'm a winner. Wu-Chang.
Yes.
Wu-Chang was good. Exoborn.
Yes.
Exoborn was really good. Dark Tides, Warhammer Dark Tides.
Yes.
It had a bad launch, but the game, you definitely want to try it out now.
They definitely repivoted on that. I was going to say same for me. I had fun with the Dark Tide update. I had fun with Bounty Star.
Yes,
over with Annapurna. I had a lot of good times with Shark Mob over at Exoborn. I've been having a lot of fun, man. And for what else? Dosa Versa over with the people who made Thirsty Suitors.
And that Toa game?
Toa. Oh, I haven't played Toa.
You gotta play Toa. That Toa game was
PM Studios with Rosh Pit Champions too. It's been a lot of fun, and I still got a lot of stuff to check out today. The day hasn't even started yet. We're early.
We're literally early. The day's just started.
But much love, guys. LV1 Gaming, if you made it this far, like and subscribe, and much love to you. Peace.